let's see your face. Okay, so first things first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like do some presenting. I'm gonna like share some information with you. When I go into my present mode, I won't be able to see your faces. So that's good for you, but not for me. So I won't be able to feed off of that to really know how you're feeling. So unmute yourself and interrupt if you're like, stop, you're going too fast or whatever it might be. But know that I'm also recording this so that you can go back and see it. At the end, I'll also, stop and give us an opportunity to kind of chat together. So I hope that's okay with everyone. I'm just hoping to kind of be efficient and give you a little bit of information, but not try to overwhelm everybody in this time. All right, so first off, I'm gonna go ahead and present. Can y'all see that? No, I didn't do that right. Hold on. Present now. Okay. Okay, now y'all can see me. Okay, so Google Hangout. So this is how your kiddos are going to be receiving all of their live instruction. The Google Hangout code that we use tonight will actually be the same code for all of our Hangouts, at least according to my research. I planned to use the same code so that it would always be available in hopes that that would maybe streamline things. So it seems like everybody is good. They're set up in a quiet space. I wanted to share with you, I found that using the shortcuts are helpful. This is something that might be helpful to your kiddo when they are in Google Hangout. The Control D is to turn your microphone on and off. And then Control E is to turn your video on and off. I will encourage the kiddos when they're on live with me to keep their video on because that's going to really help us stay connected. But the microphone is going to be a big piece. So when we first log in during any sort of like our instructing or any time where I'm trying to give directions, it'll probably be best that they start with their microphone off. My goal would be for the kids to log into Google Hangout a few minutes before the start time so that they have a chance to chat to each other. And then right at the start time, their microphones will either they'll turn them off or I have the control to do that. So I'll help them with that. And then just to share, our Google Hangouts will be recorded, and that really is to share with everybody. So we have our live sessions set up, but making sure that we all are logging on at the same time and receiving the same opportunity to get there. It just is not always going to be possible. So I will be able to record it and then share that with our kids so they can still go back and at least receive that instruction later. Okay. So let's just start by saying thank you guys. You guys are amazing. You are all here tonight. And really, for me, you're here on such short notice. We, had to rapidly change our entire lifestyle overnight. And I, get teary-eyed thinking about the fact that that our kids are part of all this. And like for us to be able to process such a huge life-changing event, I can imagine that our kids are kind of feeling that too. So why are we here tonight, guys? It's our kids. We're gonna socially isolate, put those, sunglasses on, kind of get away like we need to so that we can comply and stay healthy. But being here tonight is about our kids, our babies, and trying to support them in a time that's just kind of uncharted, but really in doing it in a way that is going to be fun and a huge, huge opportunity for them to learn. So I'm really excited about this. So we all know the ever-knowing questions or the ongoing questions that we often hear. Is it Christmas? Are we there yet? Is it Halloween? Is it my birthday, right? We're getting these questions from kids all the time. And now that we're getting this huge blessing to spend time with them in even greater amounts, the biggest, greatest gift that we can give to our kids is a whole lot of patience, and that patience goes for us too. We are going to be learning a lot of new things together. And boy, you know, I joke, you know, as a teacher that my patience runs out at 2 o'clock. But this experience already, I mean, our teachers have been working around the clock, nonstop. And you guys are too, you know, only now we're all working at home or we're working in whatever capacity, but we have kids that we have to take care of. So I just ask that you be patient with yourself throughout this. And then through that, you'll find a way to give that same love and patience to your kid. So love on them, take time with them. Austin this morning, the first thing he asked me was, Mommy, can we cuddle today? And I was like, absolutely, buddy. Like, we can have cuddle time today. That's not a problem. So don't be afraid to stop at any given point and just spend time with those boys and girls. Flexibility is going to be huge, and I'm going to do my best to provide flexibility to you. And, you know, as we kind of navigate all this newness, I'm going to have to ask for your flexibility with me because it's all so new. I'm learning as much as I can, as fast as I can. But if something is just not working, or if I messed up somehow, I'm going to have to just, you know, take 10 steps back so that I can take another big giant leap forward. So, you know, the greatest gift, like I said, is our patience, our love, and our flexibility through this. All right. So, our team has decided to create an optional daily schedule. We talked long and hard actually this morning about this because already I am, you know, trying to do my best to do mommy school and teach, you know, working my full-time job with my husband working his full-time job, and it's been challenging. So even this morning, after I got them set up to do some math on like a big piece of paper, walked away to do my job, and they were off screaming and playing Legos. So needless to say, choice is going to be a big deal in our day, but we wanted to provide you an opportunity to help structure what that day looks like. So in the morning, we're going to provide the kids a choice board, which will be some choices that they can choose from. Our live time will be from 8:30 to 9. As of right now, our live morning session will be a morning meeting, and then which will be a time for us to connect as a school family. And then I will also be sharing a reading goal or a reading mini lesson with them, and that'll eventually grow as the time goes on. Following that, they'll do independent reading. Then they'll have another choice board available. Then we'll go to our live feed again at 10 o'clock. Right now, our intention during that period of time is to teach them some of the modalities that we wish to use in our math, science, and social studies instruction. So that, you know, the first week is really just getting them acclimated to that. And then finding the flexibility in my day is going to be, you know, like if they're getting it, I'm going to move on and start teaching some new things. So it's really going to be fluid. Following the live Google Hangout, they'll have math to work on. Then they'll move into science and social studies, then writing, and then they'll have lunch and recess. And then they will have a related arts Google Classroom that they will be able to join and choose from. So again, this is an optional daily schedule. And really, you know, it's for those that are able to provide this awesome, you know, outline. You know, for me, it's going to be an incredible marriage of, you know, what is Bradley doing? What is Austin doing? What is mommy doing? What is daddy doing? How can I make it all work at the same time? So don't feel that you're stuck to it, but I would highly suggest, and really based on the research that I was doing yesterday in a webinar, your students are going to gain really the most by being part of those live Hangouts. I think that just the time for them to connect face-to-face with their friends and their teacher, and then really to kind of continue to push their learning during their independent time. So I would highly encourage them getting on and being part of that live instruction. And then really find the flexibility that works for you and your whole family, you know, as far as your schedule goes. With that being said, I do want to reiterate that something that, you know, we really emphasize in our classroom is routine. And I have found over the years how critical that can be, and how it relieves me as a teacher and even as a mom from a lot of ongoing questioning that's just too much. So you know what I mean when I say that. So just the ongoing. And so just building in, you know, a routine, if you haven't already built that new routine. You know, my boys wake up in the morning, they wanted to go straight to their iPads. I'm like, nope, you're not doing that. If you go straight to iPad, you can do your learning games first thing in the morning. So they chose to do that. And then they go right to breakfast, they get dressed, they make their bed, they brush their teeth, and then we start our day. So even just building in a small routine in the beginning to get them started is probably a helpful idea. All right, let's go on. Okay, so our first week, the theme is going to be under construction. Kind of appropriate, right? So we are going to grab our hard hats and we're going to put them on. We're going to get our hands dirty and we are just going to begin the process. So I'm going to send you a letter, and really my intention would be to do this every Friday. So you guys are used to receiving my newsletter on Monday afternoons, but I'm going to change that and send you an email on Fridays, and that will kind of help you navigate and launch into the next week. So this on the screen, it's in my letter, so I will be sending this to you, but really, the first thing that you can help your kid do is getting them situated in a spot. Choose a spot where they're going to do school. See if you can make that spot explicit to that time. If not, I get it. Like, you know, if it's the dining room table or wherever it might be. During the webinar that I attended yesterday, it also mentioned how helpful it can be for it to be central. So if that spot is central where you're going to be walking by, monitoring in that capacity, I think that would be really helpful. So get a spot together for your kiddo. It's going to be important that they connect to the internet there. They're able to read, work with tools nearby. I just suggested that they grab a basket, put their paper, pencils, crayons, markers, books, and a stuffy, which is their reading partner now, at least for now, in that one place. I love to have a spot where I can find all my things, just like they do in school. They always have a place to go get their things. All right, so that might be really helpful to help get that independence going. I'd also suggest getting them a place where they can get comfy, sit in a spot for reading. They're used to reading around the room. They're used to sitting in little rockers or up against a soft pillow, getting into a corner and getting their book in their lap. So I would encourage you to set up a spot for them to do that. And it really doesn't have to be fancy. So just help kind of get them prepared. This is your reading spot, or have them select where they want that spot to be. Make sure they have good lighting. And all these tools that I'm mentioning, if you don't have them, don't worry about it. Everything can be modified. So please, please don't go onto Amazon and order a bunch of stuff. Like, they don't need it. They just need simple things. So if you don't have it, make do with something different. It's totally fine. I had suggested getting some Post-its, maybe a journal, a pencil, in case they wanted to write something down. And then having their logins available will be really critical. I haven't shared this with you yet because I'm still in the process of making sure that it's all streamlined, and was literally not even an hour ago still navigating that with some tech people. So my hopes would be that by the end of this week, I would be able to share that with you, and then you can print it or just save it for them so that they can easily access that in case they need to. But just on a side note, the majority of everything that they will be accessing will be through their class link, which is fantastically easy. Okay. All right. So Rise and Shine week 1, what is it going to look like? And really, family, any feedback when you're looking at this is going to be super helpful. So if you see something, please let me know. Our goal as a second grade team is to try it for a week, and then modify if we need to. So I just clicked into our classroom, our Google Classroom, and next week our plan is that we will launch our week 1 learning plan right there in the stream. So there's these headings at the top. The stream is where that will be for them to access. Now, they'll click into their learning plan, and their learning plan will be, and I'm just going to slide through this so you can kind of see, their learning plan will be one document for the whole week. We played with several different ways to provide this information to our kids, and we really think that this is like as carefully laid out as we could make it, and then in hopes to kind of help you with your like scheduling. So every morning the kids will log on and they will complete a daily check-in question. This will be a way for us to measure their attendance and really that they're getting on. So each day a new question will populate, and they will go in and answer that question, and the question will be due that night. So it's not something that they're going to be able to like go back and, you know, add from days before. We really just kind of want to see who's present that day and, you know, kind of active. And really it'll be an opportunity for them to just get started. Okay, so that's our morning meeting time. They'll get going by doing their daily check-in, and then they'll have a weekly choice board. And we are going to keep these 3 choices up for the whole week. So they're familiar with iReady. We try to create some things that might be simple that they're familiar with or that they could do. Our first live session will be from 8:30 to 9, and they will actually click on that link to join it. We've listed our daily learning goals for reading. This is for them, but this is also for you. So you can also kind of look at it and go, oh, okay, like this is what readers do, you know, so when you're reading, you can remind them of that. Their independent reading time for next week, we suggested that they do it with a stuffy. We understand that not everybody has loads of books at home. So with that, I have set up 2 links, or 2 accounts, I should say, for them. And I'll share that information with you. But Epic Books is a fantastic website. I've already added them to that account, so that'll be easy for them to connect to. I love Epic for their book selection. My kids and I are all about it, and the range of reading that's available, and like even just majorly popular books are on there. It's like really, really user friendly. So I'm really digging Epic. It says kids A to Z, but that's actually incorrect as of tonight. So we are switching over from kids A to Z to RAS Plus. So our counting got RAS Plus. So I will share that with you as well. RAS Plus is another incredible platform where kids will be able to go on and read books. I've already created their accounts as well, and they will just have a plethora of books to be able to access, and they will be able to do that on their laptop, or if you have a tablet, you can also download their apps, and that kind of is fun. The boys seem to really like that. So after independent reading time, they'll have another weekly choice board. Our kids will be accessing all of these through their class link. So BrainPop is on class link. Their iReady is on ClassLink and Happy Scientist is on ClassLink. But I've also like linked in the actual link to go to those places. Our next live time will be at 10. Our math work for the first week will be Mountain Math. So this is something that our students are not as familiar with. We use a different type of daily math in our class. I'm sure you remember seeing like our minute math that we were doing. So this is very much like that, but it's totally independently driven. So the kids will click on the link, it'll take them to the Mountain Math board and then show them how to do the responses. And during my live time next week, I will be teaching that to them as well. So they will become more familiar with it. Next week, we have a social studies weekly about treating everyone fairly. So they will go into their class link and access that. For writing, we've decided to share writing prompts for each day with the kids. But to be honest with you, our class is not as used to receiving a prompt. We just commonly write based on our units, and they have a lot of choice in their writing. So they can choose. They can choose to write from the writing prompt, or they can choose to write from their choice. Then we've got lunch and recess and related arts. Now, related arts does have a Google Classroom, which there is a code here. So when you go back into your kiddos' Google Classroom, you will be able to have them add that. So they will do that next week. The kids are familiar, but you may need to help them, but I can also do that as well. And y'all know I like quotes, so I added something in here. It just says, knowledge is power, community is strength, and positive attitude is everything. And I think really what resonated with me there is community, because this, of all things, seems like as far away as I am to all my kids, I feel like I'm going to get really, you know, comfortable in a different way and closer to them. All right, so y'all, that was a lot. I'm going to ask you to think about some questions that you might have for the good of the group or not. I mean, I'm good either way as long as you are. But before we get to that, I just want to remind you what our why is, and that it's for our kids to remember love, patience, and flexibility. And ironically, my Teacher of the Year theme this year was we are all in this together. And I have heard that 25 times over in the past several days. And boy, does that not just ring true. So we are all in this together. And I just have to say that I'm incredibly blessed to have you in on this adventure with me. So I'm going to close that. And now you can see me again. Didn't you miss my face? So you guys are all muted. So if you wish to unmute yourself, you may do that. Or maybe not. I don't know. Can you? Yes, maybe down, like if you toggle on the bottom of your screen. Ooh, I hear somebody. Yes, Carmen. Okay, so down at the bottom of your screen, if you toggle, there's like a little pop-up that'll come up and it'll say turn microphone off or on, and then you can also press Control D. So Control D should allow you to do that.
Command D on a Mac.
What is it?
Command D on a Mac, if anyone else is on a Mac.
Okay, so Command D. Jessica, were you able to unmute? No? Okay. I wonder if I can unmute you. No. All right, so what are y'all thinking? Tell me what questions you have or what you're feeling. And see, now you'll start seeing how everybody's faces will be popping up. Okay, everybody cough at the same time and it'll all like beep, 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 beep. See, I told you. All right, so that's why in the beginning we're gonna like want them to go to mute, because it gets like you almost want to like vomit. So yeah. All right, so what are y'all thinking? How can I answer any questions.
Here. Oh.
Everybody good?
What's going on? Oh, there we go.
You guys are all going to be calling me on Monday. I know it.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Atkinson, I have a question. This is Hannah's dad, Tim Freed.
Hey.
Will the optional daily schedule with the schedule of how the class is going to go, will this PowerPoint be available to us?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can share the PowerPoint with you. That is not a problem. And in your kids' Google Classroom, the whole schedule will be in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, I can do that. And then as soon as we're done recording, I will also happily share this with you guys if that's helpful. You know, Sunday morning news, watch it again.
Uh-huh.
So how are the kids? How is everybody doing at home?
It is not going to be the coronavirus that kills my kids. It's going to be me. I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
Well, go easy on yourself.
Oh my God. Don't flunk me because I am so afraid to get this stuff done with my other kids.
Don't worry about it.
I know some parents are working. I don't know how you guys can juggle it all. You're absolutely right with the patience piece and just figuring it out as we go. But it's a lot.
Well, and we're all on different pages, you know. Even as a second grade team, we're all in very different places. So, you know, everything that I share with you it's hopefully an opportunity, but please know that it's there. If anything, you know, start small. See if you can get your kid on live with me first thing on Monday morning. Honestly, that's going to be like the very best thing for your kid and for me. An hour is going to be that time where they can reconnect and let's start there, you know. So, and you guys are already halfway there. You got to your kids' class link, right? You got in to the Google Classroom and you got on this call. So if you can do that, which your kids should already know how to do that. They haven't done a Google call yet, but your kids know how to get into Google Classroom. So, you know, quick reminder and they'll be off running.
Lindsay, you just got to turn around. It's right on your wall.
I know, girl.
So, Mrs. Atkinson, so the passwords for like Epic and Raz and the math and all that stuff, those you'll be sending us after you work out everything with, is that what you were saying? You're waiting on something to, okay.
Yes. So my goal was to try to streamline it as much as possible. Epic is super easy. Trying to find my sheet. But if you're interested, Epic is a free app. So if you have a tablet, you can download Epic on there, or you can go to Get Epic, and I will send this to you. I promise. But for Epic, the kids will. Let me get my code. Oh, there it is. Okay. The kids will type in the class code, which I'm going to say and show you. Okay. So the class code for Epic is, can anyone read that to me? YIV3495.
Okay.
Now you guys are all the high achievers. You got that early. Okay. So I expect you to download it tonight
So we're not doing the kids A through Z anymore, or you want us to?
Colin, my high achiever, so he is already on there tonight. So I registered the kids A to Z, and then I was notified that our district purchased RAS Plus.
Okay.
So it's an upgrade. So I've already talked to technical support and they've transferred my account completely over. So I don't know what that looks like on your end, but I can shoot you guys like another email and then you'll know my class code is different now. My class code on RAS Plus, which you guys all got emails from RAS. And you probably haven't looked at it yet, and that's okay. But RAS Plus, my class code, Atkins. I'm just writing it down real quick. Okay. So RAS Plus is our other reading app that we will use. And my class code is Atkinson 2020. On this particular site, your kids will need their login. So that came in the email. Like I said, I can push that email back out, but I'm going to give you a password information sheet. But I want to make them all individually, and I just want to make sure they're correct when I send it to you. So, and RAS is literally like the same as Kids A to Z. So it's very confusing. It was for us in the beginning, but it's literally the same. So when you go to download it on a tablet, I think it's called Kids A to Z on the tablet. What else, my friends? Good?
Nothing yet. We'll see how Monday goes.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Monday, the biggest thing is just going to get them on that live sesh. And my plan is to work it out with them, you know? So I'm going to be able to present and show them things, and yeah, they're going to need help. But know that, you know, the schedule and the choices and all those things, y'all, it's okay if you don't get to it. We really try to simplify because we don't want you guys to go totally bonkers with all the stuff that we're pushing out. I mean, it's not that important. What's important is your health, your safety, and your sanity. Okay, so you know, it's there. I want them to participate. And to be honest with you, the moment I left school on Monday, I mean, I was like, seriously, I hope Miss Jacoma does not give Bradley too much to do, because I am not going to be able to handle it. I'm just writing, you know. And of course, at dinner the other night, I looked right at Richard and said, you know, you're in charge of homeschooling the kids, right? And of course, he thought that was a good giggle. And I'm like, no, really, like, this is how it's going. Like, people are working full time, you know, and homeschooling. So, you know, the intention is certainly not there to make you go crazy. Hi, Colin.
Hi. Try. Oh gosh. They want to see you.
See them too. All right. So, yeah, just go easy on yourself, y'all. And I know that the emails are a lot, but it's really just the best way for me to communicate initially. But if there's another way that you're like, please stop emailing me, I can't keep up, like, let me know if there's another way. I want to be there for you. So, you know, reach out to me. All right. I love you guys.
Thank you, Mrs. Atkinson.
My kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We know you've been working nonstop.
It's been a learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't realize, you know, what it was like for my husband, because he sits in front of a computer all day, and y'all, I just don't do that. You know I don't. I'm with children and moving all day long. So it's already been a transition for sure. So I'm just hoping that the kids can get outside and still enjoy, you know, all the things. So make it happen, friends. All right.
Thank
So if your
you.
kids are in the background and they want
Thank
to take a peek at Ms. Atkinson, I'd love to see their faces. I'm going to stop recording so that way I can, I think I'm going to stop recording. I don't know. Hold on. How do I stop it? Okay.